Well, I tried out my new electric knife and I wasn't at all pleased with it. This is a Mr. Twister electric fisherman. I guess it's made for skinning catfish, and maybe it works better for that than this, but well, I was really unimpressed with it for this. I had a little Walmart knife, and to be honest with you, I think the Walmart knife worked better than this one does. And they look like they're engineered and made almost identically the same. Walmart knife was $12. It's a Black & Decker. And the Mr. Twister was like $35. But like I say, not too pleased with it. What I wound up using instead, see, those are very similar anyway. What I wound up using instead was I had this little piece of saw thing in there. That worked pretty good. Now I cut one from kind of a pattern. That thing on the bottom is my pattern. And then when I put the end pieces together, they're pretty close. And I was thinking, well, I could probably do another one, just taking out about 1.5 inches here to make up for this little bit here. And then I could put those up in there and push the center together and put a piece of tape on that. So I might get to that, but I want to cut a couple of more there. I'm kind of playing with this. I don't think I'm going to do all this because I'm leaving in a couple of days, but I wanted to cut a few to see what I thought of the process and to see what I thought of the knife. And that's the way they fit. One goes up into on top of the sill over here and over here, and there's enough room where if I want to put something over that after I finish, you know, attach like some sheetrock or something, you know, it'll fit with that. Okay, so I've cut a couple more with my little saw. Okay, I'll go over here and see how these two fit. Maybe I can find a place to put y'all where you can see the action here. Let me see. There's a little table here. Reach that table out here. Like this. Sit you on that. Get you way up like that. Maybe that'll work. Let's try it. Looks pretty good so far. That's pretty good. I got a little bit of a gap in the middle, but I think I had the same thing when I did the sewing room, and I think I was able to cut some little wedges up in the center of it there, and we wound up sticking them up there and taping them. These things are 6 inches long. I believe these are on 2-foot centers here. 4 of them should fit, but they may not. And plus, where I have the cross brace up there, that's going to get in the way of the last one that I put up. So I'm going to have to do some extra work to make them fit. In places like right there, you see there's a block of wood that I put in there to tie the strip that runs down the outside to strengthen the building. So I'll also have to do something when I get to that part. So let's sort that out as we go. Let's see if I can fit one more in there, and then we'll 2 more in there, whatever. And then we'll kind of think about it some more. rained last night, I would be back doing some more of the work that I was doing back there, clearing things up and getting things ready to put away for my trip home. But it's quite muddy back there, so I thought I'd give it a day to dry out and spend some time working right here instead. So I'll go get a couple more pieces and we'll do another couple. Actually, the saw works pretty good. It's got a fat enough blade so it doesn't tend to turn. This little saw is just something I got in the dollar store last year when I was doing this stuff. Might need a different pen. I think my pen's going to give out. I don't think this stuff works really well with an ink pen. Might could just scratch something in place there too, instead of using a good marker. This little hole right here in the end of my saw makes a good place to put my saw. It works out nice. Alright, let's go try these two in there. I'll get a rag and just wipe this off. These things get pretty dirty sitting out back. I noticed it looked like some kind of varmint crawled into the stack there and possibly built themselves a little nest up inside there. The other day I found some ants in one of them. Let's try that. Cock y'all up in the air toward what I'm looking up there. Like I did before. These are a little hard to get in place. These two, maybe they needed to be about a half a hair shorter. I don't know. I don't know if I can get that to go in place by pressing on it. I don't know if it'll flex enough to go or not. Nice if it would. Pretty close. Pretty close. Now there's really not room for another complete one here, which is probably just as well because I'm going to have to do some special cutting right in here to fit one. These are working. And I got some little end pieces that I have been getting out of the end of each one when I cut it. That were getting up in there, little wedges. Like, look what's laying here on the ground. I take 2 or 3 of these ones and go see if they look like they would fit up in that end, up in that top part. Yeah. Me and Rusty Acres always talk about having some kind of a get-together rendezvous down here, maybe swapping maybe have him drive up a vehicle and have me drive down a vehicle and, you know, meet here, swap out, let him take home something like maybe that little Crosley, you remember, that he bought. Have me take home something like maybe he's got a Ford truck down there that he talked about swapping me for my Crosley. And if there was a possibility of camping out here in this, and make it a lot more possible to meet up. He generally drives a camper on the back. He's got a Dodge truck. He's got a little pickup camper on the back of his. And if we met up, he could sleep in his if he wanted to or something like that. I could climb up in here if this wasn't dreadfully hot, dreadfully cold. Catch me a nap up in here and then head back. So, yeah, we're kind of looking at those kind of options too. Alright, that tells me a lot. my pattern's going to change when I get up here, because I have a raised up portion where this piece is, and the boards sit literally on top of that sill there. That's more for storage over on this side. In fact, I got some stuff up there I need to put somewhere else. Some of my stuff that came from left over from my mom's things that could be put somewhere else. But that's a good, that tells me a little bit about what it's going to take to do that, you know. So, I'll think on that. I don't know if I'll cut a few more of these or not. Might, since I brought them around here. It may be that these end pieces would work to make the shorter and the different kind of pieces that go, you know, to fit up in all the smaller places up in there as we go along. What I might do is just cut a bunch of these today, set them in there, because I'm going to want to clean out the garage when I do the, when I put them up in there, like that part where that mattress is at. I'm going to pull that mattress out, and you know, anything else that stuff can fall on, and put them up in there, and then sweep that out. So maybe what I ought to do is just cut a bunch of these, stick them in there, and then have a day where I go in there, maybe a nice coolish day, where I go in there and just put them up and do all my little cutting pieces.